Bradley, tu veux un croissant?
Oui. Can I be honest with you? Despite some of the selections on the Film Review Open Challenge, this is the one I've been dreading the most. The reason? Mademoiselle Chambon is entirely in French with English subtitles. This means I'm reviewing a film in a language I'm not good at. A couple of months ago I reviewed a German film in Funny Games, but it had an English remake. This one does not. Will I think this film is très bon ou merde? Voici mon avis sur Mademoiselle Chambon. Jean is a builder, husband to Anne-Marie and father to Jeremy. When Anne-Marie hurts her back at work, he has to collect Jeremy from school, where he meets Jeremy's teacher, Veronique Chambon. The two don't talk very much, but on a later pickup, Veronique asks Jean to speak to the class about his job. He agrees and the talk goes very well. Afterwards, Veronique asks Jean to have a look at her window as it's drafty. Jean says it needs replacing and agrees to do the work. After the work is completed, Jean looks around the apartment as Veronique is asleep in her room. After she wakes up, the two have coffee and Jean asks her to play the violin for him. She does and he loves it. The two bump into each other in town and she offers to lend him CDs with the music piece she played. They go up to her apartment and listen to one of the CDs, but end up kissing and embracing. Jean leaves, borrowing some of the CDs and becoming distant from his wife Anne-Marie, more so when she announces that she's pregnant. Upon telling Veronique the news, the two stop seeing each other but are quite clearly thinking of each other the whole time. Veronique decides to move on again from the school and the area, whilst Jean organises his father's birthday party. Jean then asks Veronique to play at the party, and while she performs, Jean becomes captivated again, something that Anne-Marie notices. Jean drives Veronique home, and although few words are spoken, tears are shed as she leaves the car and heads upstairs. She comes back down shortly afterwards, and the two end up sleeping together. Jean says he wants to come with her, and at the next day at the train station, Veronique waits until the last possible moment to get on her train, but Jean doesn't appear. She leaves forever, not knowing that Jean was at the station ready to leave, but changed his mind at the last moment. Jean heads home, and though the atmosphere is tense, Anne-Marie talks to him about his father's party the previous day. You'll notice that once again not much happens in the plot summary, and indeed this is a character piece, not a story piece. The focus is on Jean and Veronique and their relationship. I haven't mentioned the many scenes of mundane things happening, if anything happens at all. Scenes of Jean working and staring off into nothing as he silently contemplates the situation, or scenes of Veronique reading or prepping the classroom. So many of my notes consist of what is happening and not how it affects the story moving forward. Sure, there are some scenes such as baby shopping that show that Anne-Marie is noticing Jean being distant, or the scene where Veronique's mother calls to talk to her about how successful her sister is, but these are few and far between. It makes for a glacially paced movie which could have used its time better. I don't know if this is typical of French films generally, or even of director Stéphane Brichet. But for as down to earth as this makes the film, it also means I'm asking myself, when is the next event happening? Why is this scene here? Veronique and Jean's relationship is really hot and cold too. One moment they barely speak to each other, and the next they're embracing each other. Jean leaves a note under her door saying he's thinking of her, but the two seemingly end their relationship when the pregnancy is announced, and the two don't talk to each other afterwards. Jean tries to and apologises over Veronique's voicemail, but they don't speak again until Jean asks her to perform at his father's party. I just don't buy that theirs was a relationship that was so intense that they'd want to run away together. I also didn't see enough to suggest that his home life was so bad that he was looking for a way out before Jean heard Veronique play the violin, which is also something that comes out of nowhere. Her playing is seemingly the catalyst for his attraction to her. Outside of that, we see nothing that suggests he even likes music. Speaking of, there isn't much in the way of music in the film which actually works to its benefit. This is a more realistic, down-to-earth piece, and the music we hear is either heard on CD or performed in person. I like it honestly, and the pieces played add atmosphere to the film. Acting wise, it's tough for me to say whether it's good or not given the entirety of the film is in French. I can't distinguish tone or emotion well. I can say from what I can judge, the physical acting and chemistry was good but not engrossing. I never felt like I was immersed in this world truly. Lead actors Vincent Lindon and Sandrine Kiberlin were a couple for 10 years in real life but separated well before the movie was made. It's a testament to their personal relationships that they not only performed this kind of film together but did it fairly well. Director Stéphane Briget stated in an interview that he picked the best two actors for the role and made sure they were comfortable with it. The interview actually praises Vincent a lot in his adaptability to the role, but I can't really say that from my experience. Mademoiselle Chambon is adapted from a novel of the same name by Eric Holder, and as such won the César Award for Best Adaptation. And generally the film is well received, reaching 6.9 out of 10 on IMDb. But the question is, can I recommend it? Probably not, and the fact that I say probably is testament to the fact that there is some good stuff here. The language barrier didn't stop me enjoying certain aspects of the film, but the slow pacing, hot and cold relationship and general shots of very little to nothing happening took me out of it. The realistic world building and ending where you don't know if Jean will leave with Veronique or not was gripping, but not enough in the end to make me go back and watch this one. Mademoiselle Chambon did teach me one thing though: don't be afraid to watch a film in a language you don't know, just as long as there are subtitles. Thank you for watching this video. If you like what you see, please give this video a like and share it on social media. Maybe leave a comment below about what you thought of this video. And if you'd like to see more, please subscribe for more content. If you'd like to support me in other ways, you can buy merchandise at bradleyj.tmail.com, where you can buy t-shirts, tote bags and more. Or you can become a Patreon at www.patreon.com/BradleyJVoices for just £1 a month. Next up for the Film Review Open Challenge is Night School. For now though, thank you very much for watching.